Hi everyone, it's Paul from Naughty Overlord Games, and I'm going to talk to you today about my basically my blog post I posted today. And basically, we've got Gangers of Punkapocalyptic. Now, this is a game that I really enjoy playing, so I'll certainly read you my post. I can answer any questions you may have. So I've started thinking about Bad Roll Games' Punkapocalyptic game. It's something I really enjoy playing after first seeing it on holiday in Spain, and I really need to. Beautiful country. I saw some great quality miniatures. That was, and I knew how to buy. Really, I knew how to buy into the game. It looked fantastic. That was, it. Period. I'm not usually that impulsive actually as a buyer. I'm actually really not that impulsive. It's really strange. I downloaded the rules for free. What's a great part of the game, but it's not the best part of the game. The best part of the game is the miniatures, and every other part of it as well. The rules are absolutely incredible, but I love the fluff. I love every part of it. It's amazing. I recommend have a look at the game. So after playing with some proxies, so I had bought some, but I hadn't actually used them properly. I used some Warlord figures and some Games Workshop figures. I just knew I loved the game. The rules were fantastic, and I really enjoyed playing it. So I nagged the wife into playing it with me, and she's not a big fan of war games at all in any capacity, but she really enjoyed playing it, and actually she's now collecting as well. So we're going to start collecting together. She personally likes the mutards. Sorry, I should pronounce it properly. Naughty boy. So yeah, I'm sure that you'll all have questions, like what faction is best. So I sat down this morning to write a guide. I thought each faction is massive in itself, the fluff part of it and everything. I can't really just write one blog piece and do one video about it. So I started doing a good overview. I thought, especially in England, because it's relatively new in England, so I didn't want it to be too monotonous, So I wrote this guy because I love it, and I think you'll be passionate about it too once you've figured out about it. So the Wasteland is an unforgiving place to live, to say the least. You never truly know when you're going to meet your end. Staying close to other people is sometimes the best idea. So the Wasteland is a land on which you have to fight for every ounce of food. It's bad, isn't it? This is me writing this, not them. So maybe you should join a faction. However, do you dare join the gangers, junkers, mutants? Well, I guess you have to be one of those. Probably don't let humans in there. Or black blood children. Now these are just the factions that are out at the moment. Now there will be more coming out soon. As they've mentioned in a previous post, so that's quite cool. So I'm going to read you an exact extract from the Bad Roll Games website. So life in the Wasteland is hard, and if you don't want, or simply can't stand in the settlement, it is vital to team up. Gangers are probably the most common faction you can find in the part of the Wasteland. From groups of raiders to vigilantes, these gangs make a living attacking settlements or travelers to get bullets and gas, acting as mercenaries to carry out the wishes of a local chief, patrolling the surroundings of a colony, or just roaming the wasteland. As free spirits with the strength of the group to improve their chances of survival. They are the best combatants, and they have the more firepower than any other force. So that's quite interesting. So that was just the basics, really. Most of the gangs organise their ranks according to the fighting capabilities and seniority of their members. Those unable to fight will end up dead sooner rather than later. So even rookies are better than the average wasteland inhabitant. Veterans have a prominent status in the group and are respected by everyone. Leaders must win the title by their own merit. There is no room for devious politics or blood binds. I think I've written that wrong. Copied it incorrectly. Yeah, British politics. Just what I'll put it on there, tongue in cheek. Although there is always differences between the gangs, and some have a value some measure of leadership capabilities. This couldn't be wrote more written than art post Brexit than anything could ever. I think this came up beforehand. Others stick with sheer force when it comes to choosing a chieftain. There will always be a way to challenge a leader to replace him or her. So, can you bet your life, and maybe you will. Dun dun dun. That wasn't in the article. The dramatic music. You know when you're going to read it. Sensitive computers these days. On every one of them being very capable of proving they're worthy of the position. There are some gangs that follow a distinct and very defined style, such as using the same clothes, show some tribal tattoo off, or shave half their hair. Others are totally mixed and don't have any distinct feature. So that's quite important bit of fluff. These gangs usually nomadic and try to get whatever they need on the road, but some of them have some kind of refuge or base camp to rest, settle, or train their rookies. So that was all from their website. Some of it was a bit outlived, just naughty. So with the official fluff in mind, I would really like to start my own gang as such of gangers, and I could imagine playing on a battle. I want to actually imagine these guys on a battle, and that's the important thing. A nomadic gang of men and women trying to make their way in the world that wants them gone. Yeah, so pretty nasty. So let's have a look at the rules. So generally, the normal is a 500 point force, and you can't have more than 15 individuals at that point on the battlefield, and that's a good tournament size. I think that sounds like a really reasonable force. So I already have a badass. She's pretty damn awesome. I will say so myself, especially she's got a pretty cool rifle. She's metal as well. What's brilliant. Now, for some reason, I painted her with blackface. I don't know why. It's really problematic for me, and I actually need to get rid of some of the paint just to make her, because her skin, the rest of her skin looks fine, looks brilliant, but it's just her face. She looks like she's trying to be rude. So I need to change that before I use her in battle. But however. So she's sort of a standard model, and that standard model has is 48 points. Now 40 for the standard, 8 for the rifle, thus 48 points. Now she's a seasoned warrior. Now these guys are seasoned warriors. They're the tough ones. She's pretty ballsy, I guess. If she wants to wear blackface, I'm pretty sure she could. I'm not going to stop her. She'll probably beat me up. I'm big, but I'm big friendly giant. But then I'm thinking I probably should actually look at the chief. So you've got the chief is the leader, as we mentioned before, and there can only be one. Now, I've decided to call mine Jeremy once again as a tongue-in-cheek sort of head nod to politics, British politics mainly, and steadfast, and he's refusing to go. I thought it'd be funny. It's probably not, but at the same time, I'm going to laugh about it. Is a tongue-in-cheek reference. So I'll modify the Ganger model with the hat on. I think he looks pretty damn awesome. So I'm going to modify him, and I'm going to give him a rifle and a medium sword and a bulletproof vest. Total really heavy, 98 points. So he's consumed quite a few of my points, but I think that's worth it. In all fairness, he seems quite worth it. So then I looked to the brutes as I want. I want champions of my gang. I really like the miniature of the brutes, so I'm going to keep him. I'm going to keep him as he is, like the sledgehammer. Now I've done myself some mischief with the sledgehammer in the past, so yeah, they're painful. I was wearing a helmet. And I'm also going to get another one that's, I'll probably just customize a model somewhere I've got. So the first one, I want the other one to be like a barbarian from Hero Quest. It's like big old broadsword, really. Or something like that, big old makeshift weapon maybe, I'm not quite sure. So the sort of one that they prescribe as such, Bad Games prescribe, is 56 points, and that's not too bad. That's quite healthy pointage. And I think the other one, my custom model, that will be 58 with metallic armor as well. So it's quite important, I feel. Both of them will then have metallic armor. I feel that's quite good armor for them. Now I haven't actually given my badass any armor. She's a badass, so don't have to. So we've got the brutes. We've got 4 models so far in my little squad, so I've got 15 to play with. I don't actually think I get up there, but I have, I've used quite a few points. I've got 240 left, so I basically used 260 to this point. So I have Jeremy, the chieftain, my 2 brutes, or the brute twins, and a badass. I also have to then look at sort of gangers and scumbags, really. Now this is kind of important. Sorry, that's my phone. Now I'm trying to put that phone. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I've got the 3 gangers, 50 points each. So that's 30 points for the standard ganger each. So that's 30 points. And then I've got heavy leather armor, 5 points each. And I've also got a bow. And I've also got, because you needed me to do the demonstration of that, of course, and a small blade. These 3 all have the same, so it's 150 points. I've also then had to look at the scumbags. Now, you can't take more than you've actually got in your squad rule. I couldn't take more than 6. No, 7. Do the maths, Morty. So I couldn't talk more than 7. Now that's not an issue because I wasn't going to take more than 7 because I didn't have the points. But I could take 3, and these are the ones I took. It was 3 different scumbags. Now I actually was going to customize them. So I've got one that I'll kit out with the light mace each, and a throwing knife, as well. Another will have a pistol and a small blade, which equals 30 points. And the last one will have a bow and a light mace at 33 points. Someone's desperately trying to get hold of me. There we go. And yeah, so then we've got that. So yeah, that leaves me with 1 point. I've got 10 miniatures I can fill, and hopefully that helps. You know, with the Ganger sort of selection. Now, that's just what I want to do. I'd love to hear what other people have. And yeah,